In this video, we will introduce you to qualitative analysis. More specifically, the objectives of this video are to introduce you to thematic analysis. Thematic analysis is a commonly used qualitative analytic approach. After providing an overview of thematic analysis, we will present specific techniques used to organize, manage, and interpret qualitative data. As you learned last week, qualitative research often uses interviews and observations to learn about perspectives and experiences relevant to health and health services. Interview transcripts and field notes generate a lot of text. This can feel a bit overwhelming. Although qualitative data can feel messy, qualitative analysis is done thoughtfully and systematically. The techniques that we will discuss in this video are designed to help you manage and begin to distill meaningful content from qualitative data. Thematic analysis is a common form of qualitative analysis. It is guided by an inductive process with the goal of identifying prominent themes and patterns in qualitative data. Although some researchers have noted that thematic analysis is a poorly branded method, it is a foundational method for qualitative analysis and has the advantage of working well with multiple theoretical approaches. What is a theme in thematic analysis? A theme captures something important about the data in relation to the research question and represents some level of patterned response or meaning within the data set. Now let's turn to some specific techniques that are useful for organizing, managing, and interpreting qualitative data. Some of the first steps in qualitative analysis involve preparing and organizing the data. This starts with actively listening to recorded interviews or interactions. This should take place during data collection. In qualitative research, there is no strict separation between data collection and analysis. Reviewing your audio files regularly as you are collecting data can help you to refine your interview guide. Keeping up with transcription, whether you are doing this on your own or hiring it out, is also an important step, allowing you to review transcripts and to begin the process of distilling core ideas. After transcription is complete, identifying details should be removed to maintain confidentiality, and any transcription errors should be corrected. As noted earlier in this video, qualitative data generates a lot of text-based data. It is essential to take the time to organize and prepare the data. This includes labeling files with meaningful names. For example, for an interview transcript, you would want to include the participant number and the date of the interview. There might be other information that you would also want to convey in the file name. Think of the file name as a shortcut that will tell you something useful about that file. For example, if you were interviewing patients at health clinics, in their homes, and at community settings, it might be useful to include the type of site in the file name. The next steps involve organizing the data. If you were analyzing your data by hand, that is, without a qualitative analytic software program, it can be useful to print out interview transcripts and organize them using 3-ring binders and dividers. Depending upon the design of the study, you might divide transcripts by participant group, for example, separating patients and healthcare providers, to more easily identify patterns within and across the groups. If you were using a qualitative analytics software program, transcripts and field notes would be uploaded into the program. Within the software, you could sort the data by participant group, as described previously, to help identify patterns. Following the process of carefully preparing and organizing the data, we recommend taking time to immerse yourself in all of the transcripts or field notes that you have collected to date. Try to block at least 2 hours in your schedule to have uninterrupted time to review your data set. This type of work benefits greatly from a slow, thoughtful approach. Take your time. In this process, you will be actively reading, taking lots of notes, highlighting or bracketing passages of text, As you are reading, ask yourself, what am I noticing in the data? What stands out to me? At this stage of the process, it is important to keep an open mind and approach your data with interest and curiosity. Try to see it with fresh eyes. Keep a running list of phrases and categories that you are noticing in the data. These provide the basis for developing qualitative codes, which we will discuss in more detail later in this video. We recommend writing a brief summary of a few sentences for each transcript or set of notes. This memo should identify key points, ideas, and emergent categories within that piece of data. After you've finished reviewing your data for that session, write another memo consisting of a paragraph or two in which you reflect on the issues, ideas, and categories across the data set. As you write this memo, you might ask yourself, what are some of the common threads that run through the interviews? Are there differences or patterns that are beginning to surface? These memos are the building blocks of your interpretation and thematic analysis. The exploratory review, to gain a general sense of your data, provides the foundation for more systematic qualitative coding. What is qualitative coding? It is the process by which segments of data are indexed and labeled as a means of categorizing and summarizing the data. A few thoughts to wrap up this introduction to qualitative analysis. First, it's important to note that coding does not equal analysis. There is still lots of work to do to interpret your findings. Secondly, writing memos throughout the coding process to distill core ideas and to document emergent themes moves you toward interpretation of your data. And finally, dialogue with other people about what you are noticing in the data. This is a very good way to begin to flesh out ideas and to check your interpretations for credibility.